Hi, and welcome to Everyday English with Amanda. If you have been following me, you know that the last few videos I covered simple past tense. Simple past tense is verbs that we use when we talk about a completed action in the past. The next few lessons, we are going to cover present perfect. I don't want you to worry too much about the actual grammar name as long as you know how to use it. So let's get started. So when do we use present perfect? As you know, present perfect uses verb 3 with have and has. So we use it when we talk about, first of all, an experience or things we have tried without mentioning a specific time in the past. For example, we have driven to the top of the mountain. Do we know when? We don't know when. That's why we use present perfect. Anna hasn't tried Korean food. So far, up until this moment, she hasn't tried it. Have you ever been to Singapore? Have you ever been to Singapore? From the moment you were born until now, have you ever been to Singapore? So we talk about it when we are mentioning experiences or things that we have tried or we haven't tried without mentioning a specific time in the past. This is just a little diagram that explains to you when do we use it. So just let me go through it quickly. So from the past until now. So we use it when we talk about an action that started in the past and continue until now, or something or an action that has just finished recently. Let me give you some examples. Mr. Smith has lived in Sydney for 3 years. Mr. Smith has lived in Sydney for 3 years. Kate has studied English since 2007, so maybe she's still studying English until now. How long have you played the piano? That person's still playing the piano until this moment. So we use it when we talk about an action started in the past and still continuing until now. Kate has studied English since 2007. She's still studying English. I have taught English since 1995. I'm still teaching until now. I have played the piano since I was 5 years old. I'm still playing the piano up until now. How do we form present perfect? How do we make it? So we use it or we form it by using have or has plus the past participle of the verb. The past participle of the verb is verb 3. Let me give you a quick example. So let's say I say go. Is it the present? Went is in the simple past, and gone is the past participle, which is verb 3. So gone is the past participle of the verb. So we form present perfect with have, has, plus verb 3, plus the continuing of a sentence. So this is an example. I, you, we, and they always take have or haven't. Okay? So I haven't eaten fish before. Up until this moment, I haven't eaten fish. He, she, and it, we use has. She hasn't tried Korean food before. So these are some examples that you can look at. I have eaten Chinese food, but you don't know when. This is why we use present perfect. My sister hasn't had sushi. Up until this moment, she hasn't had it. He has left for work. Do we know when? We don't know when. Maybe he just has left for work. We haven't left the house yet. So we're still in the house. From the morning until now, we're still in the house. We have known them for a very long time. Known. I still know them. That's why we use present perfect. They have lived here since the 1970s. They're still living here. These are also some keywords we use with present perfect, for and since. Okay, the next two slides is just a list of the verbs. List of regular verbs. Okay, and a regular verb, as we know, in the simple past and the present perfect ends with ed. Okay, so these are just some examples for you. Accept, accepted. Jump, jumped. Laugh, laughed. Learn, learned. Like, liked. So I have liked studying English since high school. I still like studying English. Smoke, smoked. Study, studied. Stop, stopped. Talk, talked. Wait, waited. So this is just a list of the past of regular verbs. The reason I put this here, okay, is that you can take a screenshot of it and just keep it so you can always practice and use it and remember. This is a list of irregular verbs. And like I said before, irregular verbs changes. So the past participle is verb 3. I'm gonna call past simple is verb 2. And this is the base form of the verb, so it's verb 0. We know with simple past we use verb 2. We know with present perfect we use verb 3. So just to make it easy for you, always remember the past participle is verb 3 and it's used with the present perfect. Of course with have and has. Okay? For example, bite, bit, bitten. Blow, blew, blown. Break, broke, broken. Okay? Just remember this part only used with present perfect. Okay, moving on. This is also another list of verbs. Like I said, the reason I put these is maybe you can take a screenshot of it or you can sit and write down the verbs. So you'll always have it on you and you'll always remember and practice. Okay, let's try to complete each sentence with the present perfect using have or has plus the past participle of the verb, which is verb 3. We make a cake for Jane's birthday. We know that with we use have. And we have to know what's the past tense of make. So we have made a cake for Jane's birthday. I hope you got it right. Our class is it. And what does it take? Have or has? Not take a field trip yet. Our class hasn't taken a field trip yet. Now it's a question, and in the question we use have or has at the beginning. Not chose a topic for my essay yet. What do you think the question would be? Have you chosen a topic for your essay yet? Have you chosen? The reason we used have is because we have you. Just to recap, I, we, they, you, we use have and verb 3. He, she, it, we use has and verb 3. Jack practiced for his exam since last week. Jack practiced. Jack, he. So what do we use? Has or hasn't practiced for his exam since last week. So hasn't is the negative and has is the positive. Wow, your son grow much taller. That means he's still growing. He didn't stop growing. So your son is he. Your son has grown much taller. So grow, grew, grown. Your writing skills have improved a lot. Have because writing skills. My sister and I, 2 people. What do we use? Built. What's the past participle of built? So my sister and I have built a house in the suburb. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, 2 people. Negative. C. Haven't seen Sydney Tower. Up until this moment, I haven't seen it. My family has lived in Sydney since 1996. They're still living here. A lot of people say, why has? Because when we think about a family, we think of one unit. That's why we use has. Kate, she. Kate has ridden, ride, rode, ridden. The roller coaster at the amusement park. She. And teach. She has taught at Sydney University since 1998. She's still teaching. She hasn't stopped. I, up until this moment, haven't done my homework yet. Yet is used mostly with negative and questions. I'll explain this in the coming days. Okay. Like I said earlier, there are always keywords that will help us determine or help us choose which verb tense do we have to use. So, for example, for and since. They're commonly used with present perfect. So, for. We use for with a period of time. For 2 hours, for 3 days, for a long time, for years. I have known him for years. For ages, for a week. Since, we use since with the start of a period of time. Do you notice it's very specific? Since 5 o'clock, since Monday, since October the 12th, since 2000, since breakfast. That's the time. We also use since in time clauses. Since I was a child, since we finished the exam. These are keywords we use with present perfect. Let's do some practices and I do hope you get them right. Okay. So Amy has been at the university 7 a.m. 7 a.m. So the start of a time. Since 7 a.m. I haven't seen you for a long time. We haven't watched TV, specific, since Saturday. They have been married. What do you think, for or since? It's a long period of time. For 20 years. She has ridden horses, time clause, since she was 10. People have used calligraphy is the type of writing many centuries and they still use it until now. For many centuries. I haven't eaten since I woke up. She has been on the phone for a period of time. For how long? For 2 hours. My sister has had a cold since last week. We haven't had an exam since October. I do hope you find the lesson useful. Please try to practice. We will continue for our next video how to form questions using present perfect. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Facebook.